Hi, so the HoloCode water is, as stated before in previous videos, is a de-imprinted, vibrationally pure water that is used for this concept of HoloCode imprinting. The basic design is to take your cell phone and then pull up the camera, make sure that the camera is on the HDR setting. Right here we see HDR. Click the HDR setting, make sure it's done, and then to take a video of yourself using your cell phone camera. Usually it's a good idea to start with about a 5-minute video of yourself. Then once that video is completed, you want to align, let it process, pull it back up so that you can play it, and then rest your cell phone directly against, between these two label ends. Rest your cell phone right up against there, and while it's playing, and let it play for the full 5 minutes. So, based on the concepts of Masaru Emoto, who wrote the book called The Hidden Messages in Water, water has the capability, the unique capability, to actually absorb vibrational energy, or the messages basically contained in various external objects that are external to the water, such as human energy, human voices, even written. If you write down "I love you" on a piece of paper and you wrap it around a water bottle or a cup of water, that water will pick up the energy of "I love you." What Masaru Emoto did is he took water that had been imprinted with various messages or energies, and he would look at the water in a room that was basically freezing, and he would freeze the water into a crystalline format, and they'd take pictures using a very high microscopic camera, and these images would show crystals that were either very well shapen or very poorly shapen. The ones where the message was "I love you," like I said, written down, or Mother Teresa, the crystals were very, very well and beautifully shapen. If you put down Hitler, or you put down "I hate you," and then wrap that message around the bottle, and then went through that process of taking a sample of that water, freezing it so you can actually get the crystalline formation, then taking pictures of that crystalline form in its frozen state. Those images, when you say Hitler or "I hate you," look horrible. And so this was the general concept that positive energy is reflected in the material world, in water, and negative energy is also reflected through water into the material world. And so this is the general concept. So we take our selfie, we then let it process in the camera, bring it back up, and then play your selfie to the water. So the water now picks up all this photonic data that's contained in your selfie. This is a holographic concept. We are living in a holographic universe. Physicists have proven this, that the general construct of the universe is based on holographic principles. The mathematics is pointing in the direction that we are basically, this information that we see, this physical reality that we feel and touch, is converted from a 2-dimensional world into a 3-dimensional world. And so by using this concept and playing all of your data into the water, you're now photonically drinking all the information that your body needs to properly illuminate your hologram. And according to many physicists, this hologram is floating somewhere out in space, probably in the black holes in the universe. And that information is, this photonic information is then sent interdimensionally, multiple dimensions, through your brain, through your consciousness, back to that hologram. That hologram becomes illuminated, and then it can send out a more perfect, more accurate image of you, which then hits the Higgs field and is converted via the Higgs boson or the God particle into physical matter form. And the water in this 3-dimensional world that we're living in is actually also a multi-dimensional compound. It exists on multiple dimensions, and that's why this kind of interdimensional realignment or reconnection process that I'm discussing here in the HoloCode concept, or what we also call holographic homeopathy, because it's based on the principles of like cures like, and you can look at other videos to see what I'm talking about when I discuss like cures like. Very, very important topic. But this water is the best way to get the like cure like effect of homeopathy into your body. If the hologram at the local black hole becomes de-illuminated in any way, then the holographic image becomes de-illuminated. That projection is degraded, and therefore the information that's hitting the Higgs field is also degraded. And therefore the conversion via the God particle and through the water lens of this three-dimensional world that we live in, a lot of that information is lost, and therefore the physical tissue begins to degrade. When you eat food, when you take supplements, when you use homeopathic medicines, and in particular, when you use HoloCode water, which is exponentially greater in terms of its photonic re-illuminating effect than homeopathic medicines, you're able to now super illuminate your hologram. This hologram can then, once it becomes fully illuminated, project a much more accurate, more fully illuminated, more fully potentiated image of you into three-dimensional reality, and therefore the physical tissues, the organs, the glands, all the body structures, the hair, the skin, the nails, can begin to reformat again. And this leads to a reversal in aging, a reversal in any type of disease formation that's in your body, because its disease is not some sort of collection of symptoms, but rather just simply an underlying breakdown on the subatomic level of the photonic density or the photonic blueprint of your body. Because everything's light. This table right here is 99.99994% space. That's according to modern day physicists. It may look like it's solid, it may feel real, it makes a knocking sound, but it is basically all space. And so is our bodies. And so this concept is a way to deal with the phenomenon of aging, of disease, of poor health that we're all suffering with in our modern day world, in particular because of electromagnetic radiation, chemicals, GMOs, genetically modified organisms, all types of pollutions, pharmaceutical drugs. These things are impacting our photonic blueprint on a subatomic level, and this is what's leading to the accelerated rate of disease, all the different type of neurological and emotional disturbances that we're seeing in our modern world, Columbine. I believe that is the result of a very serious breakdown of the core principles upon which our human body functions and is based, and that is light. Light is the essence of how the human body functions. All right? Oranges, bananas, supplements, herbs, they're not vitamins and proteins and macronutrients and micronutrients. That's not what they are. They're simply basically photonic databases. And depending upon the wavelength of that photon determines the type of nutrient that is contained within that supplement or that herb or that food. This water contains more information than if you were to add up all the different types of foods, all the different types of supplements, all the different types of homeopathic remedies in the entire world, and take them together. There's more information contained in this, and the reason why is because your body is projecting all the information that's required for it to function optimally. And we're going to get into a deeper explanation of this concept, because people would probably say that, well, if your body's broken down and you have disease, how can you capture all this information? The key point here is that the hologram is still a perfect template of you. It's not been degraded. Your physical body has been degraded, but this underlying holographic blueprint of you, or template of you, has not been degraded. And that's what these cameras, these high megapixel cameras, greater than 12 megapixels, which is now found in the latest generation cell phones in our world. And the ones that we actually use at our clinic, which are specially prepared 50 megapixel cameras and higher, these cameras have sensors built into them that can actually capture the very, very low emittance, low lumen level of this hologram that's not been corrupted. That hologram of you floating in the black holes of the universe has not been corrupted. Your physical body's been corrupted, okay, through these different types of exposures and traumas, etc., genetic weaknesses, but the holographic blueprint has not been corrupted, and it's still emitting very, very faint information, very highly accurate information, but it's very, very faint. And that's why we have to use these high megapixel cameras now today to capture this information in a serial fashion. That's why we say, capture your selfie at least once a week, 5 minutes, including your face in particular. We want you to include your face, include your ears, nice, include your whole body. The less clothes, the better. And then have it processing your camera, and then set it up against the camera between the label ends here. Just let it sit there and play into the water. That water then will pick up all that photonic information, and then once you take off the cap and drink this